Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has published a list of 16 high-impact achievements 4 years after its establishment, listing one of the high points as dramatic rise in Nigerian rig count from low 8 in 2021 to 69 as of October 2025. The rig count is a key indicator of assessing the health and the future production potential of the industry, investor confidence, and the demand for oil field services. A higher rig count generally signals increased oil and gas production. NUPRC has announced that Nigeria's rig count rose to 46, and the latest rig count of 69, which comprises of 40 active rigs, 8 on standby, 5 on warm stack, and 4 on cold stack, and 12 on the move, represents 762.5% increase in barely 4 years. Gbenga Komolafe-led commission noted that the number was expected to increase even further in the coming months, showing a renewed confidence of a renewed investor level confidence in Nigeria. So joining us on the show to discuss the commission's achievement for 4 years after its establishment, it's Eniola Akikuotu, spokesperson of Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. Great to have you, Eniola. Let's just quickly go straight to it. I need numbers today. Can you at first give me, the number spread, as it were now, of the 400 desolate rig count, the 400 desolate rigs, the rigs that are not being in use? What is happening to them? Number one, why are they not being used, the 400 fields? Secondly, can you also give me the numbers, as regards payments of things like, the monies, after the bid round, the payments that ought to be made? Can you give me the empirical numbers? How much have been paid? How much was collected? And I need blow-by-blow accounts. And what's the success of this second bid round we are trying to push now? What's the success of that? But I need those numbers. The 400 fields are not being used. What's happening to them? Why are they not being used? The payments originally done, hitherto, what's the number, the empirical spread of those numbers this morning? Let's start from there.
That's a triple barrel question. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Thank you for having me this morning. Yeah, so we came up with the drill or drop policy, which is that if you have an acreage that you are not using, or you're not utilizing, then you have to relinquish it and it goes back into the basket. And so in the process of that, we're able to identify about 400 dormant fields, and that was what we put there. Of course, we've been able to reach out to them, the owners of those fields, that look, if you are not using them, we have to relinquish them. Of course, warnings will be sent first time, second time. After some time, we see that you are not cooperating, and then we withdraw it. It's very, very simple, because we're trying to ensure that investments are not wasted. That's the long and short of it. Then your second question, you spoke about the last bid round. Yes, all the winners of bids have paid the signature bonuses. And it was even very easy this time around, because, you recall that in the past, bid signature bonus was as high as $200 million. So what was done this time around was that the cost was brought down to about $10 million. And so it's even easier to pay this time around. And then the third question, I'm sorry, I've forgotten. I can't really remember, because you asked me 3 questions together.
Yeah, so I asked you about, the payment of the signature bonus. And then I also asked you about, intending bid rounds. What is going on as regards the intending bid rounds that we're going to have?
Yeah, so the bid round, we're waiting for presidential approval for that. Hopefully, we're just hopeful that any time from now it will come, because a lot of investors have been showing interest in it, and it shows that, yes, a lot of people are interested in what's happening in the Nigerian market. So we're waiting for presidential approval on that. Hopefully that comes anytime from now.
How much was the total amount paid on the signature bonuses?
I don't have the figure at my fingertips at the moment, but I can get that for you. But rest assured, it's been fully paid, and I'm sure the Office of the Accountant General can confirm that to you as well.
All right. In July of this year, the Minister of Petroleum, Oil, Heineken Lokobiri, had said that Nigeria's oil production would hit 2 million barrels per day by the end of this year. In that report, while stating some of the successes of the NUPRC in the last 4 years, this year you've only, by August, you said 1.6 million barrels per day. What are the restrictions? Why do we keep getting these promises in terms of our output, but unfortunately unable to meet these targets? What are the challenges, and what now is the target for hitting that 2 million barrels per day, or even going up to 2.5, 3 million barrels per day?
Oh, thank you, Ayo. It's very simple. First of all, I think we've surpassed, no, I won't say surpassed. We've hit OPEC's quota a couple of times this year already, and we've shown capacity that we can actually exceed it. So OPEC's quota for Nigeria is 1.5 million barrels per day, and we can't do above that. In fact, we have received warnings for, on certain days, because sometimes you overshoot a bit by a few thousand barrels or a few hundreds of barrels. And you receive warnings that, look, you cannot do this because you are a member of this international organization, it's a cartel. When you sign up to an international organization, you have to adhere to its rules. And so we are being limited by that OPEC quota. And that was why we said in the previous statement that, look, technically we even have the capacity to do 2 million as of now. So if the thing about the reason why there's some, yes, go on.
Yeah, so if OPEC quota is going to be a stumbling block, why make the promises to hit 2 million barrels per day? Are you selling Nigerians a narrative? Because if you're now saying that the reason why you're not hitting that number is because of OPEC quota, before that announcement was made by the minister, was he not aware of the OPEC quota?
First of all, I don't want to appear as if I'm opposing what the minister said. But I understand that there are high-level meetings going on at the back, behind the scenes, and Nigeria is hopeful that we're able to increase our quota. And that's why, it's based on that hope, based on that projection, that's what we're saying that, okay, we can do 2 million. So that is a problem we have at the moment. And negotiations are still ongoing. Problem is that because if you're following international politics very, very well, you see that Trump has said he's come up with this drill baby drill policy, and he's increasing production. And when that happens, what OPEC tries to do is they try to reduce the quota, try and cut down production so that there's no supply glut. And so we are also still trying to get them to increase our quota, because ours was reduced in the last 2-3 years because we're not meeting, 3, 4, 5 years, because we're not meeting the quota. So Nigeria has shown that we now have the capacity to meet and to exceed that quota. So I'm hopeful, we're all hopeful and we're all praying that that quota will be increased so that at least we can show the world that what we are capable of doing.
Okay, Eniola, it's good to have you on the program. And I sympathize with you. It's not an easy job. I did this like 10, 14 years ago, speaking for other people, defending government policies. But yesterday, when we discussed this same subject, my main point was about transparency and accountability, and the difference between that and propaganda. And I repeat that, and I insist on that. Now, let me go back to some of the issues I raised yesterday. The last bid round that was done, we would like to know, who were those persons that won the bid rounds? What is the so-called signature bonus that, the NUPRC is talking about? Nigerians need to know. That is why there is the point about transparency and accountability. 2, before now, NUPRC said that there has been a reduction in terms of oil theft. Has there been any follow-up action in terms of identifying who the reduced number of oil thieves are, and who are they, and what steps the NUPRC is taking to address that problem, again within the province of transparency and accountability? And now you are speaking for them. Have you visited any of the oil rigs? Have you been there to see NUPRC in operation? Because the NUPRC, which is in charge of the upstream, is supposed to be in all the places with officials on the ground. Do we have concrete evidence in terms of transparency and accountability? The downstream, we already know is messed up. But we're talking about greater transparency and accountability without prejudice to the efforts, whatever efforts the NUPRC will have made in the last 4 years.
That's like a triple barrel question. I hope I remember everything. If I miss anything, Doctor, please remind me. Thank you so much. You see that I'm also following your footsteps, Doctor, from... can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Journalism to
No,
PR,
you are doing well. I'm proud of you.
And
we have to tell Nigerians the truth.
The truth. And I really admire you. I crave your support too, Dr. Abati. And that was why yesterday, when you hit us below the belt, it was really affected us, because your words carry weight. And we don't indulge in propaganda. We just say it as it is. Why? Because international companies, NBS, OPEC, and every organization relies on us for data, because we are the custodians of the data. When we say something is this, everyone takes it as the gospel truth, because we are the ones that generate the data for all the organizations. So that aside, I say that on the bid round, Dr. Abati, it was very transparent. Neiti even attested to it last year that it was one of the most transparent bid rounds, if not the most transparent that Nigeria had ever embarked on, because it was digital, and then everything was monitored. Even one of your correspondents from here, Kichinana, actually covered it, and it was very transparent. And this is the first time in a very long time that there were no court cases emanating from the bid round. The only case that we actually had emanated from something that happened prior to the bid rounds. They are angry that they relinquished, that they were forced to relinquish their acreage. But from the conduct of the bid round itself, there hasn't been a single court case. And I think we deserve credit for that. Now, the winners of the bid have been announced too. I saw it on Arise website too, just now. I think it was carried by all media houses. That was late last year. Total Energies, MRS, you had Petroleum. In fact, you had so many winners, and they've all paid their signature bonuses. So I don't think that's an issue at all. But if you have doubts, maybe after the show, I can send the documents over to you or to Rufai. And I'm 100% sure too that the Office of the Accountant General can actually confirm that. And then on the issue of all thefts, Dr. Abati, I say it again here, that all theft dropped by 90%. In fact, 90 point something, actually, percent between 2021 and now. And for a number of reasons, or at least 4 or 5. First of all, if you look at the trend very well, you see that it started dropping. The period where it dropped coincides with when we were able to get, start some security arrangements with Tantita. Although, yes, a lot of people will say it's an unconventional method, but I mean, that was what the country had to do in order to protect its oil assets. And so we don't guide the pipelines. We are not in charge of arrest. All we do is we provide intelligence. So, for instance, we find out that, there's reduction in pressure on the pipelines, then we have to report to the appropriate authority that, look, at this so and so spot, this is what is happening. All right. And then the appropriate action is taken. So that's one. Secondly, also you have badging taking place now. Okay. So when you see that when there's badging, there's less theft too, because they're not using the pipelines. Oh, and then of course we've introduced the advanced cargo declaration regulation, which is that, look, before you can even export. Okay. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, finish your point and just summarize, because we have to go. We're out of time.
Yes, which is that before you can export, you need a unique number. You need a unique number, and before you export any crude from the country. And so these are some of the things we're doing. We've also been auditing. We'll be doing an engineering audit of all the measuring, equipment in all the oil facilities, and yes, to make sure that you see anything that is there, what is stated there, is actually correct. Yes. All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akikuotu. It was great to have you on the show this morning, and just to be able to expand on some of the things you talked about yesterday with regards to the successes of the NUPRC in the last 4 years. We wish you all the success, and we hope that we continue to get updates on the work that you're doing.
More time, though.
I'm so sorry. We have very limited time on the show. You know how it works. Very quickly.